So yeah, let's just see. Let's see. This isn't gonna move. Gold's not really gonna move until this news hits. It's 7:30 in the morning, my time. So we have 14 minutes. I like the sell side. We broke through all the structure, overnight into pre-New York as well. So as long as price can hold under this, let's say it starts to come back down as news is coming in. Um, I'll probably set an order somewhere underneath this low and see if I can't capture a decent move. But what I'm gonna do is cut my size in half that I normally use. Because I want to reduce the risk while trading during the news. So that's my idea with gold. I like the sell side, and really there was a lot of failure all week to break up through this to break up further, but let's just wait and see what the news does. Again, if we close, like, we can watch this on I guess the 30-minute would be hard to watch because at 7:30 is when this is going to hit. As long as we keep projecting this level and coming back down, what I'll do is when news hits, I will set an order on gold to see if it's not going to pick me up. But again, I'm only using half of my size. So maybe like 1 minute right before news hits, I'll set an order here with half size and see if we can't continue down here. We should blow through this support too if news continues, maybe to like 1809.97 or even 1805.30. So I'm just going to be mindful that once that news hits and we start to break down, this is a 20 pip range and it's a Friday. So what I'll do is if that does play out, I'll close somewhere around there. But I haven't traded much this week. Like, I've showed up every day and the ranges have just been like GJ, for instance. There's no real clean range to the downside. Like, maybe the clean range would be, or the clear trade to me would be underneath this 4-hour lows as well. If you look on the hourly, like, maybe there's a trade above these hourly highs here too. So I don't know, things just haven't been too clean for me. So I've been pretty patient and not really not trading much. I think I short GJ in the beginning of the week and I put it to break even. It got hit at break even. So nothing too crazy. Looks like my initial thoughts on gold though this week, things played out okay. Not as big of a move as I would have wanted, but price has been in a downward channel and broke out. Then there was like a really obvious daily head and shoulders there that price failed to break out of and just sprang right back into that range and held a support right on top of that. Pretty easy trade. Like, I've seen that happen. I traded something last year, like just about identical to that. There was like a break of this huge daily support here, right here. And then there was like a head and shoulders right here. And once that daily candle closed above it, uh, that's where I traded that. But one reason that I'll trade things like that is because after we take out like major daily lows like this, and price has a lot of failure and just springs back up into that range, you can often find a pullback and then price will start to break back up. You could trade those back up to the highs. So my my thought here, which it still could play out, but I figured we would at least trade back up to like 1860 on this clean daily candle here. Thought at least, violating that head and shoulders, we would trade back up to that. But it's been like a 280, 290 pip move. anytime something does that, it's like, what are you really expecting? Is there really a catalyst to push that chart all the way down like you think? Because what I'll do is I'll still watch a lot of trading groups or listen to things online. And often what you'll hear a lot of times when these major structures get broken, price sets up like your trade that you wait on instead of just playing the breakout with momentum. People wait on these, and then I'll watch all these groups post about, oh, this thing's going short or this thing's going long. And when it's really obvious to me, it just alarms me not to get into that position, or not to even think about the market in that way, because more often than not, 90% of the time these people are wrong. So I just kind of tend to do the same thing, that the opposite, and the same thing happened down here, like with this kind of head and shoulders. A lot of people talking about it, especially when it was dipping off here, and then this thing shot straight back up. And I was just thinking in my head, it's the same exact thing that happened last year over here. See, the way to play those is like, you've got to wait for those daily candles to break the bodies and play in the wicks of the range. So like when you have daily candles here with bodies, you've got to wait for a daily candle to break. And then what you'll do is watch that daily low. And once that daily low breaks from the next daily low is when you take that into strength. Especially a high volume session is your time to play that breakout. Like this was 7 a.m. right off the open. I remember this idea because we had talked about this meltdown coming on Bitcoin to like 25, 20K. And if you go look at the time that this breakout started to happen here, it was literally, this hourly was 7 a.m. Because I remember New York session, the hourly close, bearish right on the support, and just easy breakout trade. Just it ripped out. I think Jay's on here. He caught that idea off of not only his own thoughts, but we talked about that on Zoom like pretty heavy the night before. So that's how you have to play those. Or what you'll do is wait for those obvious head and shoulders to be violated. Like in this case, maybe a weekly candle or a daily candle to close above it. Then that thing's heading up. But for me, same things, the same kind of setup is going to happen here. You're going to get the daily candle that closes below these daily bodies. And then from there, you need to figure out on Monday or something, a high volume session, how you're going to trade that short, because the weekend you could see it, but I doubt it. I don't think it's not crazy volume. Not a good time to trade those. It's like gold's breaking up here. Just want to look at gold and see if there's anything really I'm missing here. I mean, outside of the fact that, yeah, this thing, it has been pretty bullish here the last 2 weeks, but really my clean trade is to the downside. Something to note here, though, is that again, the same concepts is that once you have those lows like that get taken out and price immediately comes back into that range, that's something to look out for. Because if you're going to want to trade off of this level, then obviously it needs to respect it and create a higher lower high and start to roll back over so you could play that breakout. But when it's not doing that, when it's not doing what I picture it doing, cannot force it. Just got to leave it alone. Really, there's not like anywhere I would say, okay, I'm going to set an order here, and if news pushes it up, then I'll play the breakout. So it is what it is. Maybe I don't even trade anything today. GU to me looks clean on the downside as well, especially on the 30-minute. If this thing were to reject and come back down before news, you could set an order right below this low somewhere in here, try to play that breakout. So we got about 3.5 minutes for this. Looks like silver's weekly is gonna, its weekly close is gonna suck. Pretty much 2 minutes now. See, it's a lot easier to play these breakouts too when we're closer to where I want the breakout. A lot of things are just not been a great. There was a few trades that I really missed out on that were okay this week, but for the most part, it's not that great. So we got a minute, just a little bit over a minute. We're gonna see what news does to this. Let's just see how the market digests the news. Maybe some things will rip right away, and maybe some things aren't gonna react heavy to the news. Let's just wait and see. Yeah, grab the popcorn. Looks like GJ's coming down a bit. See what GU's up to. It's coming down a bit. Let's see what gold's up to. Man, GU looks good. I'm gonna watch GU on this news. Yes, retail sales did okay. Core retail sales did okay. One of these should be no automobiles. I think all of them are. This supports the gold short trade. For sure. So it looks like on my broker we're gonna have a top wick on the 4 hour, top wick on the 1 hour, 30 minute, even the new 30 minute, and the 15 minute. So now we just stay patient here. Let's see if we can let this 15-minute candle close 7:45. S&P rallied out of its close too. See, I feel like this dollar is going to blow out of here today because we've been talking about how prices 3-day intervals rejected this trend line and how this time price has just built a support on it. And it's just been kind of like pushing itself up against that trend line. And we wanted a daily close below 9,200 to see weakness in the dollar, and it's just failed to do so. Now we've created a 4-hour support, just like we did this last time during New York going into London going into New York. But this time we've got a 4-hour support with some fundamentals back in it. So maybe the dollar pushes through here. I don't trade correlations like this, but that would make sense with gold going short too. Some things we have to keep into consideration though is we did shake off a lot of bad earnings this week, and then hot inflation as well. Not bad earnings, good earnings. There's a lot of good earnings for the banks, and price did the exact opposite this week. So we have to keep that in mind. The news is just sometimes, a lot of times, like 90% of the time, is just whacked out. Most of the time, it don't even make sense.
Yeah, shouldn't be gold be going down?
Yeah, yeah, and that's why, like, I say this every time we watch news. That's why, like, when I see the good news for the U.S. dollar, that's why I don't like short gold and buy the dollar, is because you never know what's going to happen. Now, if there's, let's say that gold were to set up, we had our closes and everything that we need, and we play the breakout today, um, that would run in with confluence with the fundamentals, right? We could use that to back our analysis, but just to trade off the news, no, just doesn't work. Let's keep watching GU here, because GU has a clean range, like just down to this 30-minute support is 13 pips. So I'm curious to see about GU today. If this 15-minute as well, that'll close in 10 minutes. If it can continue down, we can end up playing the breakout on it. So really just a waiting game here. Just like any other morning. It's boring and it's not fun. Not that fun to wait. If your trading is fun and sweaty and crazy, you have got problems. You have got problems if you're sweaty while trading.
You've got too big of a lot size. That's what you have.
That and trading too much. It's a mixture of things. Too big of lots. Looks like oil is gonna have a down week too. So we're gonna have to wait here about I got till 7:45 for this. We need to let the 15-minute candles close. You can tell there's just no volume in the market right now. Slow. Just like any other morning, though, it starts out like that. Then it'll pick up, give us the right setup, and then it'll move. Something's going to break out today.
Hey, what's up?
What up, Trap King?
Good, good, good.
The heck are you watching today? Anything?
I mean, I already watched what I wanted to watch yesterday, so guess I'm good.
Done for the week?
Yeah, I was done for the week since Tuesday, but I gave the team something yesterday. I gave them a GU. I don't know if you saw it. I gave them a GU, GJ, and EG. I told everybody to pay attention to those trade setups. GU was a loss, but GJ and EG played out. Um, I mean, GJ gave about 65 pips for the first target, and EG gave about 29 for the first target. I'm still expecting them to go to their final target, but I mean, everybody that was at trade with me knew that they were supposed to move their stuff to break even. So that's that. I really am not looking at anything. I think I had a good week. What are you doing on GU?
I'm waiting.
What happened to you?
What I was thinking that myself, Trap.
The trading
What?
demons took over.
What's going on with you, man? Like, what are you looking at on GU though?
Bro, this week hasn't like these trade setups are just garbage during New York session.
G
So
GU has just been all over the place. He hasn't really given what we're looking for. What I'm even looking for is just all over the place. So I don't really like it.
what I'm trying to do here with this thing is see if 15-minute candles can start to break to the downside because it has a clean range under here to continue down. And I like it. And if it gives it to me today, I'm going to trade it. GJ sucks. It's not doing anything. GU looks the best. Gold's not really doing anything. I mean, to be honest with you, even it's like range is nothing too great. It's just not too much going on. I don't trade
It's just
anything
like,
else.
yeah, it's just Friday. If not, I would have said, okay, I've seen something on gold that I like, but it's already Friday. I mean, I don't think it's going to play out by London close. I don't think it's going to even give us what we want. So I don't think there's any point.
Yeah, gold's not. So far, it's not doing anything as of yet. We'll
And
have
to
to
think
see.
that And the thing that the news just hit, and look at what's happening. The market is not even doing anything.
Yeah, we just got to give things some time here today. You can tell there's just at the current moment, there's just no volume. There will be. Not yet, though. Something's going to move. Maybe even stock exchange open is the volume that moves us. It's like the S&P is breaking up. Bitcoin's still down. GJ's doing nothing. GU's coming down. GU's going to be all right if it'll give it to us. Yeah, I think Trevkin gave GJ trade, EG trade, GU trade, and GJ hit 65 pips, EG hit 28. GU got stopped at 30 pips. So pretty good trade ideas there. Pretty good ideas.
What do you want to see on gold?
Well, I was thinking with gold that today I like the downside better than I did the upside. But if it doesn't close down here or anything, then obviously I can't take the breakout. So I don't know. This thing might be gold might be rogue today. Broke through these lows. It's closing back above that closing back above this range in here. So it could continue up.
I think a lot of people need to understand something. You see a setup, just trade it. I don't know. Some people are actually really looking for perfection, which is not really healthy. If you see, just jump it, take the trade, because you're looking for perfection. And now you can see what's been happening to us this few weeks on these your sessions, whereby the market, like today now, the market is just garbage, no volume, not really giving us what we're expecting. Okay, that's why there are other models that one can actually trade. Do you understand? But a lot of people don't really understand that aspect just yet. Just trade what you see. You don't know if it's going to play out. You don't know. But just trade it.
Facts, big facts. And here's the other thing too, like I might be biased on a certain range or something, even like GU or something. I might be biased to trade towards something, but I don't find a reason to get in until I see literally until I get my breakout. Like I'm not trying to, oh, here's a fib, retracement. It's time to take this trade because I'm biased towards this direction. Like I don't do any of that. I literally just wait for candles to close and then just break. Somebody says, do I see a buy on gold now? No, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like my bias is short today. I don't have any clean play to the upside.
I mean,
What I
the
see
whole
is price close back above that, but it's not a trade to me. I'm not chasing it. But say what you were gonna say.
but I don't know why. I mean, I saw in the group somebody was posting gold. I just kept quiet and I was just watching. And look at that beauty. Somebody posted gold and look at that beauty. I just kept quiet and I was watching. I was like, okay, somebody's learning. But people need to stop being scared. It was a beautiful sell he gave today. Very beautiful.
Yeah, the entry up here Jay posted was very
Very
nice.
beautiful sell.
Very nice. Here
And
was
sometimes,
here.
you know what they don't know? Sometimes they don't know that when they post those things, I just take those setups. Once I see it, I like it, I just jump in. I'm in the trade. They already fed me, but they don't know they fed me. They are now scared of even taking their own trades when I'm having a field day with their own trades. Just can you imagine that? This was just perfect.
There's a difference between being scared and learning still.
Well, that's why you have demo. That's why you have demo. Demo trade it and trust it, I mean, you guys are on fire. You guys are doing some dope stuff. But I'm wondering, come on, pull the trigger. What's wrong with y'all? You guys are doing some very dope stuff.
You take everything on demo. Anything you think about, take it. Then see like what was garbage about it and what was nice. But this setup was nice. This is a weekly high that Jay put in there.
If you're actually ready to like play in the market or you haven't really traded, and I mean, there's a reason why that was marked up from something the person had actually learned. That's the reason why he marked that up. If you know you want to trade and you're not really seeing anything and that's an opportunity, take it. What's the worst that could happen? You lose the trade. But if you practice proper risk management, you'll live to fight another day. It's that simple. There's nothing more than that. You guys don't know you feed me. You feed me, and I'm happy.
was already up 2 trades on the week, and you guys have also taught don't give it back to the market, and I didn't
So
feel like
so you see, I mean, you get your money, get out. Personally, if I'm done and I see something that looks very good, all I do is I just use a very small lot and I just play in and see if I could get something else. And in most cases, when I do that, sometimes I lose and I get very pissed off.
that's what I should have done. I could have played that with a small lot just to play it.
At least just a demo. Literally, at least just a demo. That way you can execute on that. But this trade idea was a really good idea. I think 18, 17, 81 was your target. So you got almost a perfect entry with, essentially no drawdown in it. Your target got hit 140 pips.
Tana,
Huh.
would you believe me if I told you that a lot of people do not believe that I still do 0.01 sometimes?
Yeah.
Some people 0.01 sometimes. You know what 0.01 can do on a 300 pip move on gold? That's $30.
Do you know what people's problem is they just get too concerned about other people's lot size and how much money they're making or losing. That's the problem. Everybody acts like it matters, like they need to know, oh, is this person doing this? Are they doing that? It's like, just trade, worry about yourself. You don't need to worry about if this person's making this amount or losing that amount. It don't matter what lot size I'm using. It don't even matter if I execute on these trades. If I come in here and I break something down and it happens and you execute because you liked it and you make money off of it, then it is what it is.
Tana, please go to 1 hour on gold. Okay. Okay, gold is about to form what I like to call a trap. Okay, no problem. I just want to see something. I still want gold to go up, but the market will always give you patterns, a breakdown. And if it breaks down, it shows you it gives you an opportunity for a proper run. Maybe the larger move is like a 400 pip buy move, and then it gives you a 50 pip or 100 pip range for a sell, giving you all the patterns that you're looking for in the market. Then come on, because the market is not just going to keep on going up. At some point, it's going to pull back, catch the pullback, and then continue with the move.
Yeah, there's really no way for me to catch this buy on gold besides maybe on the 1 minute you could see a support, big bullish close up above the resistance. Same thing on this minute, and the next one broke out. But unless I see things I like on the 15-minute first, I don't get too involved with some things. So there's still no trade for me yet today. Just watching. Just watching. I'm interested in seeing what GU does here as well. Gold's breaking up, so for now anyways, let's see what happens here.
And one other thing that I think people need to learn also is the ability to know when to stay away from the market. That's actually a skill on its own, to know when to stay away from the market. A lot of people need to really understand that, because sometimes, sometimes I actually I trade with my gut sometimes. I'm like, okay, GU, GJ, okay, which one? GU, GJ. My guts tell me go with GJ. Even if both of them are looking very good, I go with GJ. And then guess what? I may lose the GJ, and then the GU plays out. So sometimes I go with my guts. If I have analyzed the market to a particular point that I'm very certain that this is what's going to happen, if my guts say, yes, pull the trigger, ladies and gentlemen, there's nobody stopping me. Even if Donald Trump likes, or even if Biden starts acting like Trump and he starts tweeting all over the place, I don't care. I take that trade. You already know the worst thing that can happen is you lose the trade. That's the worst thing that can happen. Don't be scared of the loss. It's part of a process. You win, you lose, or you break even.
So even on like when I know things are junk like this whole week, I've not hardly. I executed on a GJ short. Like I can go. I think that's what's good about my personality is just fits so well with my trading. I'm a pretty conservative person by nature, so I don't need to trade every day, or I don't need to trade every day. It doesn't matter. I can go sit on my hands all week.
Bro, man, I'm telling you, to be very honest, trying to sit on my hands all week is very, very. I mean, you remember when I came on board on no risk, where I was like, every time there was always a setup. Every time there was always a setup. At the end of the month, we afford about 50 trades, and I'm like, yes, I did well. Then I realized that, look, man, you're beginning to overtrade. Take it easy. Then I said, okay, fine. If I get 100 pips in a week, I'm fine. So I'm looking for two setups. I look for two setups. If one gives me 150, the other one gives me 50. Am I going to touch the market again? No. Blackburn and a group called a gold buy. Almost 300 pips. One trade setup, one. And it happened in one day. Almost 300. You think if I cut the whole 300, I'd still been in the market? Nope.
Yeah, we've had a lot of good traps called out in the last. This cold one was pretty crazy too. I mean, or EU. That's the most recent one. That one was pretty good. Thing melted out of there. Same thing for your EG buys. Those were pretty good too. Had a lot of quite a few good trades in here. This was a good gold sell too. I remember this one. I think
Details. Everybody needs to pay attention to details.
GU.
And you know that thing where you're working towards, like I said, there's none like perfection. You're working towards trying to get that weak entry, that perfect entry, and you're like, yes, that's what I'm looking for. Then you find out that so many times the market doesn't get to your zone. And then it doesn't get to your zone and you're pissed and you're like, oh man, this market missed me by 1 pip. Oh, this market missed me by this amount of pips.
Yeah, tons of good. It's a lot of good trades given in here.
Yo.
What up, Steven?
What up, Tanner? What up, TK?
Yo, Steven, what's up? How you doing?
Pretty good, my brother.
So I had the idea in my head, and since I'm still learning what is a good idea and what isn't, I mentally traded. Oh man, bro, man, don't mentally trade everything, man. Just trade to your devil. Just trade to your devil so that you can have it down in your journal. The truth is, I've been doing, like you see on Tanner's calls, we come here, we do the same thing over and over and over every day. Nothing changes. The same thing applies to me. I do the same thing over and over and over. Nothing changes. So if you're able to develop that your model, I think what most people, the problem most people are having, Tanner, is now your model could be, I'm selling into this range, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm selling into this range for like, let's say 20 pips, 25 pips, thereabouts. And then maybe my own model is saying, inside that range that people are selling into, okay, I want to buy from there. Now, people are trying to fuse it together, and then they forget one thing. The thing they're actually forgetting is, China is actually going for 10 pips, right? Sorry, 20 pips, okay? And let's say my entry is supposed to be 10 pips into that China sell. it means I can afford the drawdown. That's why I have a stop loss. I can afford a drawdown of 10 pips because I'm trying to trade a larger move, like probably like 50 or 60. So it's okay if you trade into it and then you take it the opposite way. It's very okay. But some people are finding it very difficult. They want to fuse everything together. Just stay somewhere. Stay somewhere. You need to be properly skilled to fuse everything together, to be honest. You need to be properly skilled. Properly skilled.
See, Jay, you're saying if it wasn't demo, like your attention to it wasn't equal. Like, I think your attention might be the same, but the whole point is just executing on the idea. It just feels a lot better when you press buy or sell, demo or not, and the market goes your direction, rather than if you say, okay, this is the trade, then you go to sleep, wake up the next day and it moved, right? It's just the whole point. It's just a lot better just to execute. It's the execution. It's not anything else. That's really it. I guess at the same time too, I mean, everyone is different. You can do things the way it's your trading. You can do anything the way you want it, but I'm just talking about, for me, my experience, I think you should execute on everything that you have an idea with. Whether it's something you want to execute live on, like you said, you're up 2 wins. So it's good that you just mitigate risk during the week like that. But if you can at least execute demo. It's healthy. We're going to have a new 4-hour candle start here in 2 minutes. GU's looking good, like the structure so far. Looks like in London, it failed to really break out, closed back in this range. New York pumped up, failed to break out, created a lower high here for now. Retested this level and now it's continuing down. So if this 15-minute can close bearish, what you're going to see here is there's going to be a new 4-hour candle. So you look at things on the 4-hour, like, let me kind of erase some of this stuff real quick. There's these bodies on this 4-hour here, and this current 4-hour is closing below all of this support here. So this is good for price here. 4 hours closing really bearish in here. You look at the 1 hour, 1 hour is closing pretty bearish in here. So that's why it makes sense. The sell side here to this 1 hour support, this makes sense. So then you look at things like on a 30-minute, it still makes pretty good sense there. And then 15-minute still makes sense. So pretty much the way I would go about this is got to let the 4-hour open, the new 1 hour, the new 30-minute, 15. Everything needs to open and push back to the upside to create a top wick and then start to break down. So that's my thoughts with GU today. So see the new 4-hour kicked off here, creating a top wick. Now it's breaking back down. New 1 hour created a top wick, 30-minute, 15-minute. The problem is though, you're pretty far away from the support here. So you're going to want to let at least one more candle close. Let's see about gold. Gold closed back above that, but shooting up, no bottom wick on anything. So it's highly likely that gold will soon make a retracement to create its bottom wicks. So the wicks and the opens, these are pretty important things to watch.
Yeah.
CJ, that can work for you, but at least what you need to be doing is writing it down. Write everything down on that idea.
Yeah, the journaling is one thing I definitely need to get better at. I don't I just don't feel comfortable with journaling quite yet. I don't have a style, a path with it.
Just literally write
I
down
know
your
you
thoughts.
guys all who have been doing it for years say, like, oh, just this and that, but it's, I don't know. If you go back to the beginning, it's not that simple. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
If you, I guess like literally your idea itself, this idea you had was just a good, really good idea that played out. You could literally just explain the setup, write it down, right? Because what's going to happen is this week going into the weekend, you're going to erase this chart. Next week, you're not even going to think about this chart. You're going to be having other markups. So you're not going to have that just left there, for X amount of time to look at. You just need to write it down, literally explain the setup to yourself.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. I mean,
I do like that trade journal you were showing me. They had nice structure to it, kind of like helps guide your mind.
oh yeah, it can make things much, much more simple, because this, like you say, like some people, they might not be that good at it or not know like what to put. And if you have something there that tells you like literally, what it is that you need to put there, then it makes a lot more sense. So if you have it, if it has something, in there, all these subsections, it can break it down. It can break things down a whole lot easier. Trade logs, all that.
I was never good at taking notes, so
By the way, everyone needs one of these.
Well, I thought somebody said the journal had structure,
Yeah, this
as
journal
in
has,
market structure.
nah, it just has like trade log. You can,
I'm just kidding, you know.
oh, I thought you actually wanted me to explain it. Nah, you need to stop playing today.
TK's in a good mood. He's in a good mood today.
I'm always in a good mood, when it comes to the market. I mean, but when I get in the bad mood, if I lose trades back to back, bro, I hate that feeling. It really annoys the shit out of me. If I lose back to back, God, it's really annoying. Because what that simply means is, yo, bro, stay away from the market. You're not in the right frame of mind.
Hey, if you don't miss two of them, you can't win two of them.
If I don't win two of them, I can't win two of them.
Yeah, you gotta miss a few of them before you can win a few of them. So don't beat yourself up about it.
I mean, you're absolutely correct. You have to lose some. You can't win everything, but because of the expectation and
Yep.
the level I have gotten to, all right, what I expect is, if I'm looking at the market before I call out a trade setup or before I take a trade, I'm supposed to have done a proper analysis. Meaning, if the market plays out against me, it's either one, I didn't do a proper analysis. Two, something just happened in the market that wasn't I didn't see coming. Do you understand? So it's when those things happen, not based off my analysis, but when those things happen, that is what pisses me off.
So I went to get coffee, and what happened? Gold flipped on us back up.
Yeah,
Yep.
it hasn't. I mean,
It's just settling.
it hasn't really done too much of anything. I had ideas that maybe we could trade under the 6 o'clock lows, but it pushed back above this range, and there's just no trade here for me today. I don't like it, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. It's already 8:05 as well. I mean, GU seems like this could be reasonable if we continue to break down at a pretty decent rate. Now, maybe it's 8:10 just about. You're going to have New York Stock Exchange open in 20 minutes. So maybe that'll bring some like added volatility to push some things around. I imagine at 8:30 or after, things are going to move quite a bit. So yeah, I'm pretty, the 30-minute on GU looks pretty good. The hourly looks pretty good. I just need things to actually move now. And if the setup gets violated, like it is what it is. But it's got a clean range on the 30-minute and 1 hour to, it's got a clean range here to come down. And we created a high during New York and a lower high, and now we're just slowly making our way down here. Just got to wait and see what happens here. Dang, I haven't looked at a UJ chart in forever. That thing's pretty high.
Bro.
Oh
real.
man, when you remember some things, I'm like, what's wrong with this man?
Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't ever really look at it. Thing moves like a slug too. It's terrible when you're in it.
Anyways, Tana, question for you.
I might have an answer for you.
Yep. So the question is from Iron King iPhone. That's the name I'm seeing here. Do you guys trade binary, and what are your thoughts on it? Thanks.
I wouldn't touch binary with a freaking 1,000-foot pole. I'm not even breathing the same air it does. Bro,
Oh
if you're
my
gonna trade
goodness.
that, just give me all your money. That stuff's crazy for real. I've watched some videos on people doing that. There's no way. It's not for me.
I mean, to be honest, I don't really want to know because I see people like, yo, binary, you could do this, you could do that. Bro, just leave me with my Forex, man.
Nah,
Just let me be.
they're lying to you. Let me see it. Let me see any trade history in binary options that's profitable for a year. People, these people want some real quick money. That's a real quick loss. There's no way. I would never touch it. Now, and then on the flip side too, in all seriousness, I don't know a crazy like amount about it, but I do know it's like, and the little bit I do know, it's pretty stupid. So I just personally, I personally would not touch that.
Oh goodness.
Man, it looks like silver is gonna make a meltdown today too.
To be honest, I don't know anything about binary. Nothing. I see people doing like, you enter at this time, within this time to this time, and expecting it to move. If it doesn't move within that time, you lose. And stuff like that. Bro, don't give me that. Don't give me that stuff. Am I selling GU? I'm selling GU. Is he gonna hit my TP? I don't know. When is he gonna hit? I don't care. So even if it takes like 24 hours, just hit my TP and let me get out. But binary, no way. You can't. It has to happen now. I don't think I have. I can't do that. I can't.
Yeah, it's pretty risky. I mean, seriously, if you're looking for quick money or to get rich quick, just buy a Powerball ticket. Because the odds of you hitting it big in any market and making $1 million in a month, it's just, even in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10, 15, it's just not going to happen. Let's just be real. I mean, you can make a living off of it, but it takes to honestly get to where you can pay bills off of the market. It takes years of just actual discipline and risk management, and honestly 99% of this world doesn't have it in them. And here's the other thing too, is like, by the time you put in all the work into all these other things that you want to try to get rich with, or whatever the motive is, you could have just took things slow. Like people say, well, I don't want to use $100 account. I want to use a $10,000 account because 100's going to take too long. But if you're blowing that 100, you're going to blow the 10,000. And if you think that, you use small risk in 100, you're going to use small risk in 10,000, maybe 1% of each trade. You're still not going to get rich overnight with a $10,000 account. So what is the point?
Please, I want you to say that louder. The people at the back didn't hear you,
Yeah.
Chani, because that's just the plain truth. It takes a lot. I mean, you think you have gotten that big break. You think that you have made that so much money, and then you get carried away, and then one mistake and back to earth.
It's like if you have $10,000 and you put a percent in, it's like, bro, are you really gonna get rich off of making $100 or losing $100 each trade? The answer is no, you're not.
Yeah. So anyway, I know somebody. Okay, he was trading for his. It took him about 7 years. He was trading. I don't know how much. I think about $1,000 account or something thereabouts. That's how he started trading, and then he was risking 3% of his account for every trade he was taking. Now he was basically trading gold and GU. Now he did that proper risk management for 7 years, up until the point whereby he could take a trade setup, and once he takes a trade setup, still 3% of his account. But that 3% of his account, if you want to look at the dollar equivalent,
You cut out, TK.
that's like he's losing like on a trade.
I think we lost them. But yeah. None of it's gonna make you rich. None of it.
I just use the proceeds of my Forex winnings to pay for my Powerball tickets once a week,
All right.
hedging my bets.
There you go. That'll do it.
I'm just being facetious.
Yeah, I know.
Forex is safer.
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he did that to the point that where that 3% of his account was equivalent to in dollars, it was, I think, about $10,000 thereabouts. That 3% of his account. He did that, listen, 7 years till he got to the point whereby that 3% of his account was about $10,000 thereabouts. So now imagine the lot size that guy will be using. Imagine the size of his account at that point in time. And then it's still the same proper risk management. It just takes time and discipline.
Yeah, that's really it. It's just a lot of discipline a lot of people don't have. As well, the motive for a lot of people coming to the market is completely wrong too. A lot of people come to the market not because they like it, but for money. It's a terrible idea. Like if you go to school and you get a degree in finance and you go on a trading floor and you do all of these things, and chances are you're in there for the right reason. But a lot of people that can open a brokerage account on their own and trade on their own, they're there all for the wrong reasons. It's terrible.
Bro, you know what? I want to go now. But before I go, I want to just drop something on gold.
What's that?
All right.
Cutting out again.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
That's the market maker trying to disturb me. They don't want me to say what I want to say. So let's go to the 1 hour quickly before I get off. All right, there you go. Can you see it?
Yep.
Box it up for me.
The heck are we boxing up?
The trap.
Well, you've got one,
Did you
This
get
one
that? The
looks-
trap.
you like this one at the top or this one down here?
Nope, nope. The one down there. That's the bearish engulfing candle. Steven already says it. Yes, sir. Good. That's it there. If the market breaks out to the upside, I'll wait for the market to come back and retest the 62 of that box and I buy. If it breaks to the downside, I wait for it to come back in and mark 62 of that zone and I still buy. So whichever it gives me, I take, buy or sell. It may not get there, it may get there. That's to this point you're marking up. It may not get, what's the size of this box?
It's just about 70 pips.
Good. So we can get like 100 pips on this move. Minimum of 70 pips, maximum of 100 pips. So what did I say? Minimum? No, minimum of 35 pips, maximum of 100 pips. That's what we can get on this move. So that's what I'm looking at. I'll keep my eyes on this. If it breaks to the upside, know I'm in. It does if it comes back for me. If it breaks to the downside and it comes back for me, know that I'm in. All right, so that's that. I gotta go.
Alrighty, bro.
All right, guys, take it easy. See you
All right.
guys later.
Man, everything is moving like a slug today.
Just like last week.
Boring. I just wish there was more something clear to my left, because sometimes I see this happen, like pre-New York, we failed to sell off. We pushed straight back into this range here. We closed back above it. And typically you will want to take these trades back to the upside, but it's chopped up over here. But you see how it's built a support here, like since just about over an hour now, it's built a support. And we're starting to press back up. So the breakout here would be, probably something that works out, but it's just a riskier trade because you don't have a clean anything. How this is clean over here, down to this.
Yeah.
And below this, how you have this clean range. If that were sitting above this, that would be a perfect trade, but it's not. It's not just visually doesn't look good to me. It's not that attractive. And GU is having trouble setting up here, and
It looks like it's just setting up for long term.
yeah, this
Nothing for short.
is the name of the game. Not everything's going to be perfect, but it's been a pretty chopped week for these kind of trades. But maybe let's see what happens here with gold. I want to see what happens here with this. The last chance I'll give anything today is New York Stock Exchange open. So that's going to be here in 9 minutes, and it's going to bring some volatility. So let's say that the 15-minute here in this range, let's say that the 15-minute can then close like above this without breaking out on this 15-minute. If this 15-minute can close above this, the next one should break up to maybe like 1827.60, right? So you could get a move above this to 1827.60, like 12 pips, maybe some continuation from there. But that's just the thing. Will it now, since things haven't moved all morning, will it sit and wait for 9 minutes? Chances are probably not. So you're just gonna have to sit on your hands and probably watch it move. Sucks, but that's just what's happening here this morning. If this thing can set up bullish into this resistance up here, gold, if it can set up bullish into this, or even better, close over it, I'll be able to tell by the time when we're closer to the 15-minute close, which is 8 minutes, I'll be able to set an order above this wick high here. And once it breaks, it'll pick me up. And then on this kind of move, you got to set the break even pretty quick. So maybe if it's up like 5 pips, I'll put that trade to break even. We just got to sit here and wait, see how it sets up. Outside of that, this is going to be our last opportunity to trade today. This will be the last idea. Yeah, on the 1 hour, things have just been 1 hour and weekly on gold. Things have just been grinding up here. They've just been testing into this trend line and pushing higher. We've seen the hourly break below this, failure to really break out, close back in the range, 30 minutes pushing up, 15-minute pushed up, created a support. So yeah, I think if this 15-minute can close bullish up into this, the next one will get probably a pretty decent move up to the upside. The only problem is, again, we've just got to be careful here that because you're going to have some rejection possibly up here. But if there's some good volume, this thing could continue pushing up on the hourly, maybe to like 1828 flat. But again, once it breaks up, got to put it to break even kind of quick. I would say definitely this is a more risky trade, but as long as it closes how I want, it should be okay. We've got 6 minutes here. Let's check the news, see if anything great happened here. Anything new. Oh, I've seen where, what is it, LA County or something, like they're closing down again. So stupid. I love how everything in the news is all China isn't doing great. China isn't doing great. China isn't doing great. Why doesn't the Wall Street Journal, CNN, and BBC all worry about the United States and stop worrying about China? That's what they should be doing. Everyone's always so worried about China. The US isn't doing good. Worry about yourself.
It's those journalists, bro.
It's ridiculous, dude. I cannot stand the mainstream media. and I'm not even like really biased. I'm not political. I literally, you guys know how I've been since, I mean, for years. I just call everything as I see it. Why is it that, these COVID numbers probably haven't changed? Why is it that this vaccine, people die from the vaccine? People still get COVID after the vaccine, right? Why is it after all these things, they pressed Trump's administration to shut everything down? But under Biden's administration, it's nothing. It's just a political stunt is all any of it is. It's a bunch of just greedy politicians, every one of them. These people, they really don't care about you or your family or anybody. They're all in it for self-gain. That's literally it.
Yep.
Yeah, I also heard about them sending people door to
Yep.
door.
I heard something about that too.
Bro,
Weird, bro. Yo, if they come to my door, I don't know, man.
yeah.
I don't have that thing in me.
If they come to your door, just answer the door naked.
Yeah, that's just not a good idea. It's not a good idea to have them go door to door. What's going to end up happening is you're forcing it on to people that don't know any better as well. It's like, man, just let people make their own decisions. If they want to, let them get it. If not, then don't. It's not that you don't have to control everything. That's what China does, and the people there hate it.
Yeah.
Bit ridiculous, really.
Yeah, and another thing I was also thinking about was the fact they're like testing these vaccines on us.
Oh, dude,
That's where they're really doing, bro.
hey, they whip that thing up real quick. You think
Yeah.
I'm taking it? No, you got to test that for a few years before you start just throwing that into people's bodies. I mean, look at how many terrible stories they are of people reacting. Like, I was just talking about this the other day. My sister's a doctor, and her friend took it and literally just collapsed dead, like a grown adult. It suffocated her. She just couldn't breathe and just collapsed dead. It's like, nah, I'm okay. You guys you need to do some further research and use this stuff on some rats or something before I take it. Bro, you're going to have to kill me before I take it.
They did do animal testing and they stopped because all the animals were dying.
Wow.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. It's pretty stupid. And here's the thing too. I think I had COVID 3 times during the whole pandemic, if that's what you want to call it. And I didn't feel anything at all. So for me to go from a 99.99999% survival rate to taking that vaccine that has more like a higher probability to kill me, I'm okay. I'll take my chances.
You're a terrible patient. You think too much.
Yeah. Dude, I was in the hospital getting surgery one of the times I apparently had it. I swear I only had it so they could make more money. I didn't
Follow the
feel it.
money.
I felt
There is
nothing.
there is a financial incentive for every reported case.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's true.
But we have NYSC kickoff. And look, when the COVID conversation started, the numbers dropped. Man, we ruffled some feathers. People can't stand to hear the truth. It's hilarious. Someone asked how much macroeconomics do you use to help execute your trades? Like, is it important to know? You should know a lot about, you should know about fundamentals. You don't need to know like crazy in depth, especially when you're just trading price action like this. But let's say like as part of the macro play, COVID going into this year, a huge trade that we've been really focused on, which let me pull it up. Or not even a trade, an investment that we've been focused on. And this is just an easy thing that you can knowing the macro, having a macro idea is what really gave me this idea. So it can help and it can help you understand a lot. But let me try to find this real quick, because I'll explain a few things with it as to why I thought that. So if you come in here and look, like during COVID, I had put in here silver at 19 bucks and 20 cents, right? And I had said to avoid like the volatility and emotions, just buy the physical silver and hold for the next few years, because gold had already broken out of its pattern and was reacting to COVID and reacting to the fundamentals. And silver lags sometimes behind gold. So I knew that that move was going to mock that gold move, as well as the fundamentals from the fundamentals were in favor. So when you have a lot of like uncertainty or a lot of it, really the main thing is uncertainty in the marketplace or in the world. You've got to think about why. Well, COVID was big uncertainty, and then where can you put your money during that? A lot of people will buy safe havens like gold and silver because it's been a safe haven for thousands of years and it's never going to change. So you can put those macro ideas into play and know what happens during times of like turmoil, and you can capitalize on those ideas. It can help. Do you necessarily need to know it? No, but having understanding fundamentals and macroeconomics, they'll help you understand the marketplace a little better. Because the thing is, if you didn't know what was going on during COVID, and you're one of those traders that when price popped up out of these ranges on gold and silver, like you were probably trying to short every single time you could, and you didn't understand the play to the upside. As well as at the end of the year of 2020, during December going into January, we knew that the dollar was sitting on a huge support on a weekly, and that with a change of office with Biden and Trump, we had to explain the Biden bounce, right? So we knew that the dollar was probably going to bounce out of there. We knew things were going to take a break, and then we would have a slight recovery in quotations from COVID, and summertime boom, and then wintertime kicks in. And as things heat back up with the flu, probably going to get people to milk the whole corona thing. You already have seen Australia close back down. You have like LA County closing back down. People are going to milk this. So those are things to keep an eye on, that you're going to have, again, just going into the macro ideas, just bigger themes and other things to watch. We got to keep an eye on all that, because it can drive some more uncertainty. And as
Tanner, look at gold.
Is it breaking down?
About to. Oh, up. Are you looking for up?
Yeah, I mean, I was waiting on a 15-minute to close. Let's wait on the 5-minute here to close. That's in. It's gonna be here in a few minutes. Just give it a little bit of time. But yeah, as things start to go towards the end of the year, you're gonna have to think about what is the news gonna pump, what's gonna happen with Corona, what's gonna happen with this new variant. Whether we believe in it or not, you've got to think about how other people react to it. You've got to think about how other people are going to position themselves for it. And as well, with capital gains getting hiked and Biden likes to push taxes higher, what people don't understand is that's going to feed into other marketplaces. It's going to squeeze the margin of companies, because with higher taxes, people aren't going to want to spend more money. So you're going to see earnings start to take a hit. The thing that I'm watching on the S&P is this big weekly trend here. I'm really watching this thing, and I watch it off of highs, like big daily tops where the market's topped out a lot. So let's say that when the market starts to top out, in this case, when it starts to turn around, the last big top was somewhere down here, right? So I would wait for price to come and close underneath that, most likely a big retracement, and then you can execute on a short off of that. Same thing's happening here, right? You're starting to see price slow down a bit. You would want to see price close underneath these daily highs and break that trend. Then something is happening fundamentally and technically. And if price continues to drive up out of here and create all-time highs, you just do the same thing, right? So there's some things I'm watching going into the end of the year that with the break of trend and technical aspects in the S&P or the stock market, you could see some things really shift and change at the end of the year. As well, I expect gold and silver to perform last quarter as we didn't expect it to perform during summertime or beginning of the year. These are all things we have talked about. I purchased $50 of 50 bars of silver Monday, 29 an ounce. He had some gold 10-ounce bars. Didn't know anything about it. Take on gold. Yeah, gold is a good. They're both just good. It's like people will buy fire insurance for their house or whatever kind of insurance for their house or insurance for their cars, but they won't buy insurance for their financial life. And that's really all the metals are. They're just a hedge on life. So whether they perform or they don't, you always have something worth something. And in a marketplace where they just printed trillions of dollars on the US dollar, that devalues the currency, it's never a bad thing to hold gold and silver. So I hold both, but there's some people that like silver more than gold and some people that like gold more than silver, and some people that don't have any of it in their portfolio, which I think in times like this is quite reckless. Pretty reckless to me. So look at gold. We have 2 minutes, 1.5 minute for the 5 minute to close, right? And as this 5 minute closes more bullish, let's say the next 5 minute opens and drives through here, this is going to push price probably to our target. So hopefully this thing doesn't move within the next minute, which, we waited all morning. So if it does, it's, it'll be annoying, but it's okay. We'll get over it. It's looking like it is. Very unfortunate here. See, like this is the kind of trade we were just waiting on with the next candle here in 40 seconds. So running straight to the target and past it.
I'm in that.
There you go. Close them out. Close 90%, put it at break even, leave 10% to run. Because now your next target's going to be somewhere like 1827.95. But remember, this range is chopped. So once you hit that first target, it could suck all the way back down and close underneath this range.
All right, but I took some off the table. I set to break even and hit me.
Nice.
So I got some off of that.
Perfect trade. Perfect idea. Man, I wanted to execute, but it's against my will right now. I needed that 5 minute to close down here. And then the next one to break and make that move. That's my textbook move there. But yeah, this has happened to me probably twice this week, 3 times, where I wanted the lower time frame to close and it didn't, and then it just ripped out of there. And yeah, I mean, it all is what it is, but you can't chase it. You just got to leave it alone.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta let it go when it's not setting up for you.
Yeah, it's a good execution though on your part. It's good 10, 13 pip drive and close some out literally right at your target and then put it to break even in case it runs. Perfect trade. Perfect idea.
I was just in the process of entering the trade when it ran. So whoops, never mind, next time.
Yep. Yeah, it happens. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, he's got fast with it.
These people listen to me on these calls and then they market maker moves on me. They don't want me to win, I guess. see on the hourly, you have clean wicks here. Then you got a clean wick like up to 1827.31. It's kind of chopped. Then you've got a clean move up to like 1829.50. So you've got to break it up into, you got to break things up a little bit, and really you've got to respect your levels, because if not, you're going to hit those, and you're going to try to hold because I was just up 500. Now I'm down. Now I'm in drawdown. Like, you've got to get in and out of those. That's the way we do it every single time. This 1 minute here, I should have just executed on that, but it's all good.
How's GU looking to you?
It's coming down. It looks like it's coming down here for sure. The 15-minute closes on GU here in 2 minutes really. So let's say that this 15-minute comes and closes below the support, and then the next 15-minute creates a top wick and breaks this low. GU is probably a good execution to make its move to the downside. GU is a trade I might be able to hit still. Look at gold. Might break out of this level and then continue to run up again, but you would have to wait for a 5 minute at least to close bullish up into this, then play the break on the next one. And at this point, it's like you already got a trade, like don't execute on anything. But GU, I'm interested in. We've got, what I would do with GU is let this 15-minute close here in 1.5 minutes. And then again, if it could close underneath the support here, it would give good ground that to think that the next 15-minute will create a top wick and break the low here, and then continue to make a meltdown. So GU is a good trade idea for me at this point. So we've got a minute on GU. See what happens. A minute on gold. This 15-minute on gold is now, you know, if it could close bullish up in here as well, it might catch a retracement and another breakout. So think I like GU better though. So we need to see the bodies of these candles here. You know, can this thing close? If it could drop back and close where that wick was, perfect. Or even below that. Even better if it could close below these wicks, you know, that would be even better. Because a 30-minute on this looks pretty nice to at least like right here. Oops. And that's a clean, that's a 10-12 pip range there. With volume, it could even push back through that and head down to this 30-minute low. So we've got 15-minute close, creating a top wick, should just respect this level here and then start to break down. So let's keep an eye on it. Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see gold break this level and press into 1827.70. If not, go past that too. You just got to be patient and wait on these breaks. I'll take a bit of a riskier position here on GU. If GU breaks this wick low, I'm going to enter the trade up here.
Wait. Now?
Yeah. Now, the way I'm going to manage this is if GU starts to break back up into this range at all, I'm going to close with a very small loss because it's Friday. You know, we got to be mindful here. But As well, if this thing starts to melt down and break out of this range, I'm going to set it to break even. Because we had a big bearish strong close, we broke support underneath the wick body lows. You know, with momentum, we should continue to break down here, maybe like 6 pips, 7 pips. And at that point, we could continue falling. So as we start to break into these lows here, I'm going to set this thing to break even because I want to protect my risk on a Friday. And as well, if we break back up above this, I'm going to close very small loss to protect myself. Yeah, I think at this point, I'm going to set this to break even because what I'm not going to do is take a loss today. So with momentum, we should continue to break lower.
Let me know when you take some off the table.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, I'm going to take, let's see here. We're only at 5 pips. I need to see at least 8 or 9 pips. So like somewhere right here. I need to see at least like 8 pips. Let's push down into here. Let's see if we can get it. Because the problem is, like I thought, we're going to bounce into the support and we're going to have a little bit of problems here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to close 90% here on this pullback just so I can make a little something. And if we continue dropping, I'm going to leave the 10% to continue falling like pretty decent, probably the whole range, if it will do it. If it will fall down into this range here, that'll be pretty nice. Because that's going to be like a 15 pip move with 10% of my trade still in. And the only reason I pulled something like that quick, even on a little bit of a pullback there, is because it's Friday and I'm going to end my week at least making a little bit of something if I'm going to enter this trade. So this 5 minutes going to close here in 50 seconds. And if it closes below these, below the bodies of this candle here or below the wicks, we should continue seeing this. We're going to continue seeing this fall here. So hopefully this thing will close below here and then we can continue to see the meltdown. After we break the previous low here, the 1 minute, it should continue just making an impulsive drop. But if you're not at break even, you need to be. You need to protect your downside on a Friday. And we're pushing back up into the range. So we need to see it close below this. New 5 minutes started. So what we need to see here now is, can price roll over to break the 1 minute lows, and that'll continue making its impulsive drop here. So that's really what you need to see, is really no more upside, price to come, break the low, and just melt. There's no top wick on that 5 minute either, though.
I got out with a small one as well.
Yeah, now that's there, it's going to drive back up on us probably here. Okay, my rest of my position's out at break even. So overall, net some money today. Oh, watch this. Now that I'm out, watch this thing drop, break this low and just melt.
Oh my God.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing about this trade that we can do. Wait for the 5 minute to close. If this 5 minute will respect the previous 5 minutes high and close below the previous 5 minutes low, then what we can do is wait for the new 5 minute to open here in 4 minutes pretty much. and you can whack at this again, because this downfall here is probably going to happen, and it's going to be a nice like impulsive another 8 pip drop or so. So if this 5-minute, this is the last idea I have, if this 5-minute closes below the previous low in this range, then the next one's going to break the low here, and it's going to have a meltdown, which you'll quickly set the break even faster than the last one, because you're really going to anticipate that volume just melting that thing off. So let's just give it a minute and see where that 5-minute closes at. And if anything, even if that doesn't happen, that's why I close some out and then set the break even. Protect the downside, make money. That's what we're here to do. Let me know who did anyone execute on this. You don't have to unmute yourself. You can just put it in the chat if you don't want to talk. Anyone execute on GU?
Yes.
Yes. Did you scale any out, or did you end up getting hit a break even?
I'm still in.
Anyone else execute on GU, or is everybody just watching?
I've been in for sale for a while.
Nice. There you go. See, this is why my trades are in and out. Once I break and I start the meltdown, trade with the volume, exit into strength, put the break even. I don't mess with drawdown. Cannot do it. But this 5-minute on gold's closing nice and bullish too. Let's see if it will.
I have an earlier short from London Open,
Nice.
so a little drawdown here won't bother me for the second trade.
Yeah, as long as you control that risk, pretty tight, can get away with it. Because here's the thing, like some random Friday volume will kick in on that second break, and that will push that price like probably a 20 pip drop if it closes where I need it. So like this 5 minutes going to close here in, maybe 40 seconds. You want to see this 5 minute, it respected the high of the previous, but you want to see that low start to come back and close below a pretty significant close below the previous, and then below these wicks as well. Because that's gonna show you that this 5 minute respected the high, created a lower low off of the previous low as well. So you want that 5 minute to close. Come on, needs to drop some more. This closes here in 10 seconds, failing to do so. So close back up in there. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much going to be it for me. Just getting to my time where I don't trade. Volume gets to be a bit more chopped. Gold didn't close up in there for the last pump. GU didn't close back below there. But let this be an example. Like when I see something close this bearish on a support underneath the body lows, and we start to break the wick lows with the next 15 minute, like when it creates a high and then starts to break the lows, I'll execute on those knowing that I'm going to fill back into that immediate range. And sometimes you'll get the volume that'll kick in that'll just drop it all the way through everything. You'll get that a lot of times. But today's volume failed to do so. But I've seen this so many times. That's why when I'm down there towards the low and I see a very bearish close right on that support, I go, okay, it's time to either close 90% or close all of it and then set it to break even and let it go. Because what I don't want to do right now, I'd be in drawdown if I held that, and I'm not. I refuse to do that, especially on a Friday. I don't want a loss, don't want drawdown. So once I execute and I get a close right on support, look, bottom line is we're either going to break it or bounce. So You close 90% and leave 10, or you close it all there and say you're done for the day. I chose to close 90% and leave 10% running at break even, and got hit at break even. Now GU is climbing, so cannot deal with that. Very happy with the execution, the idea, the management, everything was perfect today. If you followed what I said to do, you as well should probably feel the same way about your trade. So anything from anyone else? That's going to be it for me. Executed a GU trade. Things worked out nice. Yes, Steven's right. Management has to be quick. If you show up on these calls and you can't move that quick, you have to get better, execute on demo, get used to the market moving that fast, you know, get used to a lot. You got to get used to a lot of navigating through all of this. You got to be fast on the execution, fast on your platform. Got to have your brain's got to move quick, or else you're going to get drawdowns like this. That's terrible. Cannot do it. So like whenever we executed on this, if price would have broken the 5-minute high off of that execution, I would have closed like maybe a 3.5 pip loss, right? As to where now you're 7 pips in drawdown. So that's not good. Your breakouts, look in the 1 minute, right? Look on your 1 minute. Your breakouts should be immediate drops. And if they're going to continue, they're going to continue immediately dropping. You look at the way a trend works. I've explained this a lot. This 1 minute that we executed on that broke out, it respected the high of the previous 1 minute and closed below the low. This 1 minute respected the high of the previous, closed below the 1 minute low. This 1 minute respected the high, but did not close below the 1 minute low. So there, you know, things are starting to shift. You got to keep an eye on things. The next 1 minute did not close below the 1 minute low and did not respect the high. So you've got to exit there. If anything, you need to exit there, because things technically don't look good. It's the same thing. People think you can't use 5 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds. The same thing that I use on the 15 minute and my overall 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute breakdown. I literally watch for the same things on 5 minute and 1 minutes. It's the same thing every single time. You don't need, like people say you need to, you need to have, you can't trade on lower time frames. It's a bad idea, blah, blah, blah. Like chances are they just suck at it. So they haven't put the time into it to really know how to do it. It's their problem. I put a lot of time into it, so I understand it. But it looks like gold's hourly closed bullish, next hourly open. This is not something I'm trading. But gold's pump probably will break this high and continue ripping. Let's see if it does. Again, I'm not executing on this, because what you have to think about is the new 1 hours, they open with no bottom wick. So when you try to take breakouts with no wick in the opposite direction, it's more likely that you'll catch a rejection somewhere and falling. Then you're going to create that, just like that bottom wick. So if you are in a trade and you execute on a breakout and it doesn't have a bottom wick and it melts all the way back, you're going to have the fastest loss of your life. So now that it created one, like if price were to push up and break out, I bet it would continue filling to the upside here. You could see like bullish close, another bullish close. And if it were to respect structure and previous candle lows and break the high here, it could continue filling towards like 1827.90. Again, not anything that I'm executing on. So just something for you guys to observe. I executed on GU, and that's going to be enough for me today. But even on GU, like I feel like this move just isn't complete. If your 5 minute will still do what I said before, will close back below this low and in this range, your next one's going to break and you're going to catch that meltdown. So that's what you have to wait for now, is for proper analysis. 5 minute to close here, next one break, you probably get the move. Who knows? It could even do it now too. These are why, again, you've got to wait on all the confirmation closes. Can't just execute. Like, if anything, make your bad executions in your breakout without candle closure, right? Don't execute on pullbacks. It's not a good idea. So you would have like pretty much 3 minutes. You're about to have 2 minutes for this close. Ooh, oil's having a meltdown today. It's throwing a fit. Because now you look at GU, for the time being anyways, you just created a lower high here on a lower time frame. And if that 5 minute will break structure, then you have structure broken. Then what continues from there is you get another break below this low, price moves on you. I'm just curious. I'm going to wait for this 5 minute close. And if it doesn't close below this, I'm going to get off here. And if it does, we can see if GU makes the move that we anticipated. Yeah, I wonder why your order didn't fill on oil. Wonder why that is. So you've got 40 seconds for this candle to close. So far, not promising. Twenty seconds. Yeah, this candle's not closing where it needs to. So that's going to be it. One trade on GU, got some money. Second half got hit at break even. No trade on gold today. No trade on anything else. Well, some of you guys caught the gold buy, so that's good too. So 2 trades, both winners today. Pretty nice. Very content here with today's trading. Yep, both pretty decent. You had the sell, then we had the buy idea on gold. So not bad, not a bad day. Do I think gold will continue to buy? Probably sit in a range today. I don't know. There's no trade there for me. See, I don't try to say like long term, I like gold as an investment, but to say like, oh, today it's probably going to continue buying, like I steer clear of doing that stuff. I don't know. I trade what the market gives me. If it gives me some setup that I like, I literally trade it. If not, I don't know. I don't try to predict it. No one can predict what the market's going to do like that. So I can't help you. I don't know what to say. Cannot tell the future. Oh, yeah, that would be a DraftKings idea. You're right. Yep. Yeah, I mean, if it sets up off of his idea, then yes. But one thing you got to think about is DraftKings not going to trade that today. He wouldn't trade like he's not going to trade that today. It's about past London close. London's closing here in 50 minutes. He's probably going to wait till next week to do that. Yeah, sit on your hands for sure. For sure. Sit on them. Next week is a new week. So that's going to be it. I will catch everybody next week. I have a few sessions next week. So that's it for me.
Thanks, Tanner.
Alrighty, I'll see you guys.
Take care.
Yep.